Today I'm talking to the homie Shake Delusion.
You can find that on Shake the Five Deaths on YouTube.
Everything I consumed is actually a legal substance now that I'm in the state of Oregon.
God bless a reasonable state.
Yeah, dude. You said you're, what, Indiana?
Indiana is stir-fried ass cheeks, legally speaking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Texas, dude. I mean, weed was decriminalized in Austin specifically, but, you know, you're still in Texas, so.
I feel bad for the fuckos that got to get the weed there. Because you got to go through Texas?
You drive up to, the move is to drive up to Oklahoma, and then you get it from there.
That sounds like a prerogative, honestly.
So, you seem to have sent me quite the list of bullet points. I would love you to...
A bunch of carny shit in the... Oh, yeah, listen. Sorry.
What? What's up?
What were you saying? I was saying that I was listening to you. You had a point there, and I went to talk over you like a dumb fuck.
Well, my point was that you can talk over me like a like any kind of fuck that you please. Because you got all those bullet points, and I feel like you wanted to get through them last time. This is Shake Delusion, by the way. We have started the podcast. Hello, welcome. Back for the second round. So yeah, if you want to just kind of like go through all that stuff, I won't interrupt.
Shit. Hilarious. In which case, I'm gonna lean on some lists then. So what do you feel would be a good beginning point? Do you want me to start with how I began with music and whatnot?
Whatever you feel, man. I feel like, I don't know, the first time we did it, you sent me like a list of kind of points you wanted to hit. And then I think you just sent me another one. I was working on a really technical part of the video I'm doing.
Yeah, and I was using that as some shit that you can dig, not, intensely throughout, but use it as like ghost points, rerouting around, or, if there's ain't there. It's because my brain... You can
see
if I can have that open on the other phone, honestly.
So, what is puke at a stripper and ditch vomit bags in front of an FBI agent? That one is catching my attention.
That was Florida. That was on my 21st birthday.
Of course it was. Yeah. Both of those things make perfect sense.
Funnier yet, it was a Juneteenth Monday. So, yeah, it was ugly because they were telling me that they were going to take me out to fucking, not Taiwan, just, Tijuana, any old fucking wacky ass place in Mexico across the fucking Gulf, right?
Mm-hmm. Don't get those things mixed up, dude. I said Thailand, and I was interchanging Thailand and Taiwan in one of my rock videos, and it's the only reason it did well, because all the engagement I got from people being like, it's not fucking Thailand.
Yeah, there's a law or a rule of the internet where you'll get more response if you give a wrong answer. Yeah, it's wacky.
I honestly don't. Certain things that don't matter, I won't check. Like if I believe I said something that was a movie was actually a TV show or vice versa, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave that in. But yeah, tell me from the beginning here with the stripper and the vomit bag and the FBI. So you get to Florida, right? How did you get there?
We're down there, family vacation, and we're all down there. Got a house with plenty of beds in it and whatnot. We're just big old chilling. It was lucky because basically half the family had already retired or whatever. So, there was means to do the shit. Mm-hmm. And then the adults that were there at the time were basically federal employees. So, air traffic controller type shit. So they got money. So that cousin actually wound up covering a lot of Uber bills later on. And so the first strip club we had gone to that night, that lovely Monday in fucking Florida, the very first stripper under the pole was named Mystique, and she was probably 4 months pregnant. There was a notable bulge. There was some baby in there. So yeah. I didn't puke there.
Gator in the belly. Got a little gator in the belly.
It was mad. But I wound up drinking there until I understood the meaning of the word plastered. Because I'd been stoned to the gills before. I'd tripped balls, but I had never felt the air turn to plaster around me and feel the need to dance through it in the fucking bathroom. I was sitting on the toilet. I'd finished taking the shit, and I wound up dancing off that just alone in the stall because the air felt like plaster and it felt hilarious. But yeah, fucking wackiness there. But I wound up getting thrown out of there because I used the wall as a lot of support on the way out of that bathroom. Now that I think about it, I wound up dragging my ass the whole fucking way. And man, so I wound up getting thrown out onto the front porch. My cousins had seen that,
There was a porch to this strip club?
I mean, it was
just
like
the outside.
Patio, and it's hilarious because as someone from the Midwest, it just kind of made sense contextually as a porch. Yeah. Just
I was now picturing like a nice humid Florida, front porch.
It was cool though because it was a Monday, night in fucking middle of June, and it's like all the heat from the day had finally dissipated, and it was just kind of cool out. It's still muggy. It's still like you're swimming when you get out the door.
Yeah.
But that didn't make me start throwing up, which was lucky as fuck. And so we shovel into this Uber. My cousins lie to me. Well, not lie to me, lie to the fucking driver about how fucked up I am in the sense that, they're trying to shoehorn me into a fucking good old level of sobriety. And they didn't do well, so they wound up just tucking me in the back seat and, trying to keep them preoccupied. And I didn't start throwing up yet. So, oof. When we get to the second place, that's when it winds up going south because the whole night I had just basically been drinking vodka and fucking Red Bulls like it was water, and then they just hit me every few drinks like a goddamn paradiddle with a wacky shot I'd never heard of. Like there was something that wound up just tasting like the milk at the bottom of a fucking bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And
is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because that sounds pretty lit, but not in an alcoholic beverage.
It's like hearing something that was a trigger after, and it's a thing that you liked. So it's like, fuck, it's like gunshot samples in a rap song when you're a veteran, I'm assuming. It's something like that. But fucking, yeah. So we get to this other joint. They're literally paying the next lady coming up to start like grinding on me and legit dancing, trying to get what the fuck ever done. And where we'd gone for the second place wasn't very reputable, so I don't know if that would have just turned into a free ride. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, man. As soon as this lady goes to like start like sexying up on me and shit, she flips around the first time. I don't know if I caught a whiff of that snatch or what, but the first drink of water I went to take of the night, now that I think about it, fucking, it met the vomit in the back of my throat. It was one of those things where I didn't know my stomach was full and it was only alcohol. And goddamn, I just started
with no water.
Hits the nice. Down the back of the fucking calves, right? Showers the fucking puddle underneath her, into being. I'm a conjurer. But yeah, I covered the side of this stripper stage with vomit as well. And just fucking, and then it becomes 10-minute intervals. Initially it's me puking for 10 minutes, then good for 10 minutes. And then, the initial hurling my brains out gets a little less horrible, but it still comes back in the 10-minute intervals. So, dude, yeah. We wind up trying to get the fuck out of this strip club, right? Because, obviously I'm not welcome there. I'm hurling everywhere. And it's like,
puking on strippers. Yeah. You generally have to leave after that.
Yeah. When I was on the ground puking, when initially all I had heard was, we'll resume when someone learns to hold their liquor. And it's like, because it was like a summer
they
after
paused
fucking
the whole show.
Came out and it's like, oof, fucking dumb shit. And like, so when they wound up trying to get me out of this shit, they lied to another poor Uber driver, and this one was much more unfortunate than the last because
you had already had those Cinnamon Toast Crunch shots, bro.
That and
that's probably why
I couldn't name it all, because people are trying to get me to take sips of like Long Island iced teas and shit, just like, and I'm already just drinking with both hands, basically. It's fucking dumb.
Hey man, 21st birthday. It's
exactly
what happens.
And especially because I never drank. It was never something that I really fucked with. And
I'm not a big fan of it either. Yeah.
Didn't get me where I wanted to be, and it still doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like hacking into dark woods that I don't really care to be in, but the chaos of it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're in this poor Uber driver's car, right? God damn, I got a cousin that's a fibber, right? One of them fibbies. and he's up front seat, trying to keep this poor man. He's riding shotgun. He's trying to keep him preoccupied when all they hear from the front is just me throwing my guts all over his fucking floor mats in the back. I wound up filling the fucking little trench that they have in the very back seat for me.
Oh my God.
It's fucking abysmal. And, they're like, God, get him a fucking bag. They give me a plastic bag. It's fucking too fucking
Gotta have
small.
those puke bags in the Uber, bro. Gotta have that, those good washable floor mats too.
Oh God, yeah. I don't even want to think about what he had to do. Take a pressure washer to that shit, coat it in acid.
That's tough.
Yeah.
You guys better have left a fucking good tip.
Oh yeah, that was that fucking air traffic controller, that brilliant motherfucker. Him having finances to cover that fucking $400 bill, because what the fuck? Yeah. But so after they get me this bag, we are on a one-way each way road going over a huge strip of water, and if your car broke down, it would be backed up as fuck on your lane, and a fucking tow truck would have to back from the other way up to you to get you the fuck off of there, right? So we're there driving. Well, they are. I am fucking still puking my brains out, and I wind up getting in this bag and wind up filling it probably 4/5 the way full. And the bullshit was ridiculous. I'm sitting there trying to not spill this and trying to avoid the urge to puke more when it's sloshing around all over my goddamn shoes. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Why? Why are you holding on to it? Risking spilling more in here. Throw it out the window. And fucking exactly. I wound up giving it the shittiest, just fucking pussy whipped it around the fucking corner of the fucking car, right? And it goes square, I don't know if it went into the windshield of the car behind us, but we saw the headlights fucking swerve, go into the other lane for a sec. The people were like, oh fuck, don't want to go into the fucking water, but okay.
Oh my God, you fucking spike stripped the dude with it's like one of those spy car things. You just released the barf bag. That's great.
That sounds like a Leahy fucking spy trap he's got. That's fucking brilliant.
From Trailer Park Boys, a good old the Randy special.
Yeah, just driving up. Well, yeah, he's a brilliant man. I miss him. Rest in peace, Leahy. Now that I think about it, him and Gottfried, those are the two gangs. But Gottfried was better with his liquor, at least on camera.
Gilbert? You're referring to Gilbert Gottfried?
Yes, sir.
My old roommate drove him home one time.
What the fuck? When was that?
I mean, years ago. I don't know the exact time. But he's a comic. He has pictures of him meeting Jim Gaffigan and Seinfeld and shit. It's pretty cool.
That's nice. That's cool.
He was cool. He was okay.
Yeah.
It was fun to go to the clubs, the comedy clubs and stuff.
And man, that's something that freaked me out about the culture of things like that. I'm glad that I didn't fall into an art that was more innately social, in the sense that I can think alone, walk in with what I believe to be, my own monolith of ideas. And if it's not appreciated, you can walk the other way and not have to play the, bullshit greasing games and social politics of things. Yeah.
That's kind of why I like doing YouTube as opposed to trying to, because when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a stand-up. That was the dream. But
dude, Ron White gave me that fucking dream for a second. Yeah, the Blue Collar Comedy Tour was was the first comedy that I'd ever seen. It's fucking weird. Yeah, and it's strange to see his career have anything at this point, just because you don't expect longevity from comedians, especially people that are known to be fucking drinkers.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to a certain age and status, I feel like you're always going to have some audience, but it's just so hard to make it to that point as a stand-up,
Oh yeah.
And I feel like it's just so much easier to get to a point where you can actually make a living, at least doing comedy on the internet, if you do it smart.
Yeah, because it's so much more multifaceted, just because I think of arts in terms of whatever it is the canvas. For music, it's the sound file. For video, it's the video file. Yeah, it's just whatever the fuck you choose to do with each and every frame of that motherfucker. It's any spectrum of that thing. Because I've thought about finalizing screenplays to feed through AI for video generation shit, because I can't afford an SR-71.
What's you mean a mic? Is that a mic?
Oh no, that is an SR-71 Blackbird, like the kill streak in fucking Call of Duty Black Ops, and also like the fastest spy plane ever.
Oh.
When they were in pursuit, like when they were being locked onto by missiles, they were just told to accelerate because you would inevitably outrun it, and it would just detonate itself because it's out of fucking fuel.
Wow.
You know, yeah,
It's
the little
pretty
rocket
sick.
or what the fuck ever. Yeah, it's bananas. It's
I'd
cool.
like to fly a
But-
plane. I'd like to fly a plane. You ever flown a plane?
No, I haven't, and that seems like something that would be fun. And I would want to do plenty of those tests beforehand to see what kind of G-force you can withstand.
Yeah.
Because you want to think that you can go out there in a fucking F whatever and just
Mhm.
whip around in a fucking jet like it's Grand Theft Auto, like dance around on it like the rocket car in Rocket League. But like, yeah, nah, you're gonna have some issues with that, buddy.
Yeah.
At some point,
Like a
you just
bush
might
plane,
send your
though.
brain through your nose.
A bush plane,
Yeah.
though, would be sick. I grew up in Alaska, and I've been in a bush plane, and I've flown in a bush plane, but I've never
fucking
flown
dope.
a bush plane. You know?
Yeah. That's slick. Yeah.
I'd like
In
to.
Indiana, there's a bunch of those fucking, biplane, with pesticide or vitamins or what the fuck ever they'll wind up throwing on,
Mm.
Yeah.
The
There's
fucking
always that.
chemtrails.
Yeah. Those specifically are putting chemicals in the water that turn the frogs gay.
hmm
But
I
the
believe somebody
motherfuckers-
proved that. There was some video on YouTube that like kept. So in YouTube Studio, you can like see what videos are recommending your videos. And for a while, like that gay frogs thing just kept shoveling out my CIA video like so hard. I was like, oh
Hey,
yeah.
cool. Well, and it's weird to think at this point, in sense of tags, because you could have format, like yours. Like there are plenty of things that could be just referencing to you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But there are other things that wind up much more niche. You're not, to cliche say some shit like fucking underwater basket weaving. You're not, you don't got a channel on that. But I would watch that because that means you're scuba certified. It'd be semi-interesting.
Yeah, I like
Right.
those little niche channels when they get recommended sometimes, like just really specific shit. But I've been definitely trying to broaden my Did you see the dictator video?
Dude, yeah.
Did you like
it? I did like it. So I'm not remembering as much of it as I would like to.
Oh, that's fine.
So I wound up
It's not what my
watching-
videos are made for. They're made for getting, a little toasty and having a good time, not recalling the necessary information.
Yeah, but the thing is, you wind up remembering what's interesting to you, and your videos are a good play on the fact that humans really function so much off of just interest alone. Like your innate predispositions are going to lead you to the arguments you find satisfying and the content that you feel you just want to check, and it's cool that your shit's actually fucking funny. I remember you wound up taking a like dog leg left that I didn't expect with like a little fucking bit. There was a point where you had to stick a fork in the socket. There's that goodness.
Yeah, that was fun. I just put jelly on my face for the blood because I just had in my script because when I'm writing my script, I have no fucking sense of like I'm not gonna order fucking fake blood right now or whatever, and then I get there and I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to have fake blood right now.
Yeah. That's fucking hilarious. It looked like that Modern Warfare 2, like the OG jelly on the screen when you get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you did that, that reminded me of when I was a literal goddamn kid. And I'm like, if I put metal in the outlet, it will do things, but it will conduct to me and shock me. So I took one of those rubber cancer bracelets. I'm like, insulator. I put that around a fucking tweezers and I trusted it like a fucking dipshit child. I put it in the outlet. There's a huge crack. Everything in the house flickered and came immediately right back on. But,
nice.
In that like fraction of a second, it was boom, and I pulled it right back out because it's like, what the fuck?
But it got absorbed. So
me,
were you wearing the bracelet or was the bracelet on the fork?
No, I used it in between my fingers as insulating layer because as a kid I'm like,
That's
okay, there's conductivity. What is this shit? Like I'm lucky there wasn't just like the perfect random electron path around the thing, because fucking weird microphysics shit. But
you're a little experimenter though, dude. Little Thomas Edison over there.
But I'm glad that there was some foresight with it. I haven't tried to make a water powered car. Like I feel like
you should. That'd be.
I like the idea of being good at math, but I feel like I wind up overpowered at the things that I wind up interested in, and I don't want to accidentally crack some fucking code that winds up rendering string theory irrelevant. You know, like you don't want to figure out like the more efficient thing.
Didn't you say that's why you smoke weed, to just increase the difficulty on life?
Well, that, and it also allows different creative wins simultaneously, I feel. And also, I don't know, the mind or mindset rather of an individual, I feel, is like a soup, and it's something where you can maintain it with ingredients put in or otherwise, just through the crucible of, you know, the soup and the pot it's in. Yeah. And that's something that was interesting for me because, like, I don't know why I started, like, thinking in these ways before I started smoking. Like, the inclinations I've always had have led me to always have, like, friends that are just not kids because I couldn't talk to any kids about this shit because they either wouldn't understand it, you know, like, or just creeped them out a little bit because I would ask my parents questions that would fuck with them, you know, like, yeah, not exactly wholly on, like, so what is the point? You know, like dumb shit like, how is abortion not a mercy killing? You've lived for more than 12 days consciously. You know, just like wacky, like, why the fuck is that coming to an 8-year-old? You know, like,
yeah, that is definitely a strange, strange question for a child. Kids say the darndest things.
Well, it's just because I'm over there just bouncing shit off the wall in my own head, you know, but because you don't have anyone else to validate, you know, as a little kid or whatever with certain thoughts, just because either
I don't even think I was aware of abortion at 8 years old. I don't think that was a concept I was familiar with.
I think the only reason why I really knew what it was because in fucking border from Ohio back into Indiana, there was always a fucking sign that said abortion ends a beating heart. No, abortion stops a beating heart. Like something like that. And I always took it as like quitting is fucking bad. Why would you abort any mission, soldier? Like that kind of, it's like as a little kid, what the fuck's abortion, right?
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. And it was retarded because, you know, my mom because her mother was a nun, you know, so there are dimensions of that were obviously going to just shine through her, you know, and those were the opinions that I got at that moment. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, this is a thing. All right, I'm going to start thinking about it on my own now that I can conceive that it exists. Because like a Freedom of Information Act request, you can't really think about what you can't conceive. You know, it's wacky.
Yeah.
Sorry,
the base
become a shitty psychology podcast. What's up? The hilarity of this being next to other things on YouTube, though, like you being referenced by videos that are based on social idols like Alex Jones or whoever it winds up being, you know, not literally explicitly.
A lot of iceberg videos as well, just like other icebergs will recommend it just because it is an iceberg. I want to do like a tier list. I want to make some more of those dictator videos because I had planned to include many, but then it ended up just being long as fuck with like 3. And then my thought was that I would do a dictator. That's my dating life.
Claiming long and then 3. Sorry, you just hit so close to the phone. I love you. Thanks. All right.
Specifically 3.
The tier. Yeah.
Inches, minutes, it all applies. It all applies.
Yeah. It is my life.
Yeah, but the thought is that I do a dictator like tier list video after I'm done with
rank
the
them
videos.
like the Call of Duty fucking map lists and weapon lists.
Yeah.
Because they've got AIs with the fucking president voices, and those shits have been killing me since I first saw them. The fucking Zomboys. Have you seen that shit? Oh my god. It's fucking Biden, W. Bush.
Oh, hell yeah. They got George W.
Yeah, and it's just all their voices AI'd up to talk like their personalities would, bouncing off each other, playing a game of zombies 4-player. You know what I mean?
The Zomboys. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. You got to look up Very Tall Bart if you like that stuff. He has one. It's like an AI like saga with Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, and then like other people will show up like Elon Musk and shit like that. But it's really good. And the rest of his shit is just like YouTube poops. Do you know what those are?
Dude, something else like that tangentially. Yes, I know what that is. Egg Dog. Me and my nephew watch playlists for that shit because it's just fucking retarded. You know, it's like it looks like Wii assets with Wii Store music bastardizations behind it, and they're stretching wacky like Team Fortress 2 Gmod shit. Yeah, like
what is it again? What's it called?
Oh, The
Dog
series
something?
is called Egg Dog.
Egg Dog.
You know, like How to Basic Egg Dog. Yeah.
I'll check that out.
dude.
I'm always looking for some good YouTube
Well,
poop content, dude.
And the shit you use as your B-reel in your fucking videos, though, like it's just like a lot of the shit I've never seen before, and I assume that like what I've included in my shit, like I made a music video basically out of assets I found on 4chan just because I'd always seen them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just weird what pools don't overlap, even though similar people have similar interests. They just aren't shown it.
Do you mean you're talking about the B-roll in my videos?
Yeah, I'm
Like
just
some of the
saying
stuff you don't recognize.
I don't know if that's, so I don't know that word beyond hearing it in the podcast with eyes wide open, right? So
B-roll?
I'm assuming that means the clips and icons and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, well, typically, I mean, in a regular, you know, if it's like a regular, if you're filming out in the field and stuff, it's just shit that isn't you talking. Like you talking straight to the camera is like I think it would be A roll, I guess. And then B roll is just everything else. It's all the shit that you put on screen. So in this context, the weird way I do it, it's just all the memes and video clips and shit like that. B roll.
Yeah. I fuck with it. And it's funny. I love the fucking I don't know, not exclusively only the ear rape content. There's just, you know, ridiculous meme culture shit that Filthy Frank ain't carrying the fucking mantle for anymore because, you know,
I should
he said,
definitely
I'm gonna be a pop star.
I should definitely put some Filthy Frank in there. I just kind of like, it's a lot of American Dad shit that pops in my head, especially with the CIA videos.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. You got to tell us if you ever have an alien in your attic. It'd be cool.
I'd like to have an attic, period. I'm in a pretty nice apartment now though, dude. It's a fucking 3-bedroom that for some ungodly reason they were running a 50% discount on an 8-month lease. So it's a 3-bed, it's like 1,200 square feet, and it's $1,270 or like $1,340 technically because it's furnished. Yeah.
Honestly, that really ain't bad,
dude. It's tight, but I know I have to move in 8 months.
Like a social hub, like in the city.
Yeah, I live in Eugene, in Oregon, and dude,
I'm just trying to figure distance for shit. Yeah, that's cool.
It's just
3 bedrooms is important.
The winter's really depressing here, and there's definitely a lot of stuff that I miss. I just moved from Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
But something I don't is the driving, dude. Like I can walk places here, I can bike places here. It's so tight.
You could be functionally homeless in Portland, and that's why they have that problem.
That's why they have so many of them. Yeah, same here. Same in this city. Like I can't walk at night without fucking like pepper spray or something on me. You know, like
Understood. I don't know what Oregon's gun laws are either, because in Indiana, like it's felt safe enough to where like if I had the money, I would probably just be casually concealed carrying. But at the same time, like I don't
too much
know
paperwork,
what I would
dude.
doing.
I don't want to kill a man. You know, I just want a pepper spray, dude. I just want him to fuck off. But then if he has a gun, then I'm dead. You know.
Yeah, well, and that's my problem too, and I'm glad I grew up hunting because for the most part, like if we're within 30 yards of each other, like if it's just like a sidearm kind of thing, I could probably do a difference between like lower body and upper body on purpose because like
throw it in
growing
leg.
up playing Call of Duty and then as an adult, like VR shit and gun games like that, it's weird what muscle memory you can build and just habits from that.
Yeah, dude.
And the Marines that were sent over into some place in the Middle East during that abomination 20-year war or whatever, at one point they were pulled aside because they were getting too many headshots, like as a group, whatever battalion or squad, whatever the term is. And it's probably the fruit of just, you know, growing up wanting nothing but that ping in Call of Duty. So when you're out there, you're going to try to get it.
Hit marker,
you know,
on the Arabs.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
No, yeah, only one hit marker though because he just declined with the intervention like that. Yeah,
dude. My aim was my dad used to take me to the range, and I remember I don't know how old I was when I first went, but my aim was like already good, even though I had never like shot an actual gun before, just because of how much FPS I played. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because I wasn't thinking about your experience at all. I'm like, what are the, you know, the unknown variable of the parents like? You know, what are their predispositions? You know, how much did that flavor that? That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm adopted. So my parents were. Yeah. Are you also adopted?
I'm not. But
you just remember the conversation.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. My dad was in the military, so he's definitely a gun. He owns a gun or two or several.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss.
As a country, it's interesting. Us all having that shit. What the hell? Like, how did someone start that game and let it go? You know, it's interesting because you would think that every government they wind up wanting to have the option to dominate the populace if they need to or want to.
Yeah.
And want to is usually only ever there. The need to is rare because it's not foreign invasion force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't see any reason why you would need to dominate your subjects. I
yeah, like why would they need to be armless? You know, I don't want no droopy.
You know, I'm really conflicted on gun control with that because it's like,
truly, I get it because there are people I know that I would never take to a range or hunting shit like that. You know, like in family even. You know, and it's just I don't know, and that discernment is important too because like it's good to have like foo feelings about what the world is like. But simultaneously, if you know someone's eyes are going to flip like fucking sizes after they hear a gunshot go off, maybe they shouldn't be holding a gun.
Mm-hmm.
They might freak out and just start squeezing it where they heard the sound from.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, when I was in high school, there were some fucking kids that I was just worried about because there were so many guns in the part of Alaska that I lived. Like everyone's parents had guns and kids had
and
guns
just like your parents' alcohol, being able to get to that gun is spooky.
Yeah, man, and that's what kind of
the discipline is huge. That's the only thing preventing anything.
Yeah. I think there definitely should be some more training required, but it's tough because it's like the populace should be able to defend itself against a governance, but at the same time, I don't know.
Yeah. There should be ways to expedite things for people that are truly harmless to people that are not, you know. The point is, you know, those that are just and actually not going to harm good people with a gun should be able to get a gun in a reasonable fashion. You know, like I understand if you don't want the first purchase to be like same day in a fucking Walmart, but you know, you should be able to place that order for a week later if you'd like that. You know,
what is the process like? I'm unfamiliar with it.
In Indiana, I don't know because I haven't bought a gun as an adult. Hilariously, I've only been gifted guns, and as a child.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I was given a 20 gauge at 7 years old. Yeah, and basically practiced with it for a year to be able to go turkey hunting at 8. Yeah, it was cool shit.
That's cool. I never went hunting. What were your parents like? Did you do a lot of hunting and such?
So there was that, but also my dad. He was a truck driver, but was ridiculously multifaceted. Like when it came to his interests, you know, it's a hyperdimensional object where you just never saw all the pokes, and it was always shocking when you saw a new one.
Yeah, the dad lore. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, he got me into Edgar Allan Poe, fucking philosophy. Like he's the reason why I found out who Diogenes is. You know, the man who told Alexander the Great to stand out of his son when granted one fucking wish. You know, and like it's golden, you know. The fucking Ripley's Believe It or Not, getting to go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, or wherever the fuck that was, and see a Ripley's or Not museum, you know, upside down buildings and shit, you know, wacky houses, you know, cool family experiences, and that's something where I try not to take that for granted, you know, having that role figure in my life, role model there.
No, that's
archetypes are rare. Usually people think media is real, so they echo the feelings just seen in others.
Yeah, especially if you don't have a strong kind of parental figure or family in your life as a young person. I feel like the media is definitely a lot more influential in that way.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just take like having normal parents for granted, I guess. Because growing up with parents that I was not birthed from, when I meet people that are related to me, I'm like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like our thoughts just make more sense because our brains are just closer. Genetically,
even when it comes
closer.
To dumb jokes, like you can finish each other's sentences with retarded jokes with your cousin because y'all didn't grow up the same. You know, you can in your circumstance, but it's still just, you know, similar sleds down a mountain, similar, you know, paths. It's weird.
Yeah, I think a lot more of people's personality is genetics than upbringing.
I feel like most of human existence is tempering who you come out as. That sounds like a lazy sentence, but meaning more like tempering the very base thing you were coming out of Mobb.
Yeah.
Because in a way, we're all born wrong. Because you come out, you know, a monkey baby. You know, if left, you know, in the woods or with a tribe of monkeys, you're going to be coming out, you know, with the local culture. You know, and that's some shit where if, you know,
yeah, that's tough, dude.
Of South America.
I think it's better now that we have the internet, because like back in the day, you only had what the people in your general vicinity would tell you about the world. You know, that's the only info you could get.
Your bullshit meter at that point, you know, you can't really discern beyond your own discernment. And at least I had, you know, like I was the greatest compliment I've gotten from like a partner's father is that I'm centered. And the dude was a fucking Marine for 19 years, so I'd like to think maybe he knew the word.
That's sweet. That's cool.
You know?
Yeah.
So and it's just good to know, though, because, you know, if you do have any self-certainty, it means you're going to inevitably go in the face of people you respect or love, you know, because you aren't going to be completely every same puzzle piece with everybody. That's impossible. Even partners chosen, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, no one's ever going to get along all the time.
Yeah. All right, let's find the things we disagree on and get some fucking clips, bro. What the hell are we doing? We're genuinely interacting, not trying to fucking pigeonhole each other.
No, that's how I like it, dude. I like the podcast to just be nice and casual, hanging out, you know?
Yeah.
It's what I like to listen to personally when I'm I really only do you listen to podcasts ever?
Yeah, and sadly, because I've always been such like an observer type psyche, you know, I've been information oriented. So I'm the, you know, 3.5 times speed podcast idiot. You know, if I've got it on speaker, it's pissing people off because they'll hear like super fast gibberish and be like, okay, I'm catching like some of this, but it's like another language coming through, you know?
Yeah. I'll put
it's like shorthand for speech.
I'll put like Andrew Huberman on like 1.5x sometimes, but like I could never handle.
Everyone's different.
I can't even handle 2. I couldn't handle 3
because my thoughts are unpredictable to me.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like Alex Jones, he's so unintelligible just with his voice, but it's iconic and easy to digest at one time speed. So that's some funny shit. So when he was on Rogan, that's really the only time I dug into it.
Yeah, he's like, pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I should watch
just talking about him though, one would be more likely to be just blindly labeled a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
you know,
and even just bringing him up in general. Yeah, it's like kind of like Trump for me. Like I'm not really, I'm not a fan of the guy, but the dude is like funny. Like I love watching him talk and stuff. I kind of miss the entertainment value that we got out of the dude.
Trump Tower in Iceland or wherever the fuck. Like, yeah. He just continuous like comedian on TV shit. Like if Reagan was a stand-up, like it was strange. I appreciate how forward he is with his thought because I feel like, goddamn, I hate that my mind goes this direction. I feel like an inbound president would get good conversation with him if he was not moved out of the picture beforehand. You know, if by jail or by lead. Yeah, and that's.
Yeah, like if he had done 2 terms and then actually decided to respect, you know, American law and stop there, I think that he would definitely have a pretty good convo with whoever was coming in.
Well, and I hate that election cycle was so fucking muddy and literally still on the high of COVID.
2020?
Because just because it's a strange circumstance where mail-in ballots had never really happened before at that volume. And it's just, I don't like when there's room for fudgery on anything because then sloppy conversation happens.
Yep. And that's a pretty damn
sloppy
important,
thoughts come from clean information, dude. Yeah.
I mean, I can certainly see, you know, I definitely don't believe that there was anything, you know, fudgy going on with the election.
I feel like there would have been a lot more like gunshot victims if there was intent to insurrect, you know, because that team, that side of the aisle seems very cavalier about their weaponry.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Florida man, pregnant woman, because she was also robbing the dude with her man, you know, like shit like that happens. And it's like, holy fuck, you know, yeah. It's weird that, you know, those 2 extremes occupy the same country and they think they're completely and wholly right.
Yeah.
Or at least play so in media.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think when you get to the extreme of either side, there's a lot of overlap there. You know?
Yeah, truly. Yeah, it becoming the horseshoe thing.
Mm-hmm.
Equal extremists of different fucking gods. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a religious disposition, speaking of gods?
Phenomenology. So just the phenomena of experience itself, I'm going to lean into that answer. But I feel like there's something, like an overarching organizing force. To say it's code is sloppy, but it's, I don't know, it's a line like to let it be. Like it's just defining all of the parameters of the sandbox that is perceivable. Or at least that's all I can assume from the life that I've lived so far. There's probably a god or a thing that is, setting up the winks in the universe, the karmic happenings, the ridiculous, seemingly windfalls from nowhere of luck, and you want to think there's a god, because if you're getting, absolutely shredded by your life, there's benefit there. But I don't know. I was an atheist from probably like 12 to 17. And that was because reason brought me out of it, and then psychedelics brought me back because, that smashed my psyche like a ball-peen hammer and told me, you don't know it all, fucko. Reassess. Open your eyes again, And as a whole, religion and psychedelics, the overlap I've found with those is wacky, just because learning from a book is important. But if you can't extrapolate from what's there and you will only treat it as something to lord over other people, it will not be fruit to anyone. It's just it's a domination-based cult or team. And that doesn't seem like the point of spirituality, because you probably assume this too, but I feel like humans are an animal having a spiritual experience in a way, or you're something more possessing the format. Or you just have enough mind to realize you're possessing the format,
Yeah.
Because I've been fucking with birds a lot lately. Call me Mike Tyson. But just like chirping at them and shit, because I grew up like calling in turkeys, like making turkey calls with my voice. Like I don't know if that'll come through because fucking voice detection on Discord or whatever. But yeah, just the behavioral patterns of animals are fascinating, in my opinion. And I'd say that ties into the God conversation, because animals remind me of people a lot in the sense that they have shiny personalities. But, imagine a person shoved through having to perceive in the way that animal is. Imagine you can only squawk and scream, You
can only use your mouth to pick up shit.
Yeah,
because they say dolphins are like,
they can tell you fuck off. Sorry, I'm listening.
No, you're good. You're good. I was interrupting you, bro. But I got a big problem with that. I think we're both a little ADHD.
Well, and not being there in person is a huge issue too.
Not being
what I mean? Because not being there in person, being able to directly hear and communicate by that means.
Body language and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty small in the camera here.
You're good, because I can't see you at all at the moment. I haven't been able to see you or myself for the duration of this. I can only really tell that my head is in frame.
Yeah.
I can only, like right now, imagine my head just peering over a brick wall like the fucking neighbor in Home Improvement. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing. Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, my face is gonna be ugly for the duration of this. I'm making memes of me. Yeah.
No, you're good, bro. Actually, you're quite lined up and stuff. My phone died a bit ago, so I'm not getting any footage of myself. I think I'll just use it from the Discord. But is there anything else you wanna hit before we dip? I got a little more time, but I gotta go do something relatively soon.
I kind of want to say just some of the ridiculous shit that sounds unbelievable. You know what I mean? Just because life experience shit, and there'll be tags for the future that you'll remember because it's fucking weird. January 5th, 2018, on the way to a concert in Erlanger, Kentucky, I wound up seeing it was a literal orange orb of light. It like faded in like fucking with an opacity slider, you know, and some effects tools program, you know, just came in and then wound up going out in a similar way, but forced me with a memory of a vision that I had of the future as a child, which is also it's something that was obligating me to remember something that people wouldn't have believed a story about anyway, which pissed me off in the moment, but I understood the cosmic hilarity of it because of how old I was when I did see the UFO that made me remember that. And the vision of my future as a kid that hit during Cicada Tour 2004 when I was 8 years old, like, what the fuck? Because the cicadas hit like some kind of fucking Buddhist tuning note, and there was some fucking wacky like layers of feeling that I literally didn't feel again until DMT. Like my vision went white, and then, you know, it was just
As a child?
Yeah. Well, 8
Wow.
years old in 2004. Yeah, rural Indiana.
You had an interesting eight. Like 8 seems to be an interesting year for you.
My thing is like, why the fuck did that happen at all? Because like, why do anomalous experiences happen at all? Like, because that happening to me made me wonder why the fuck ghosts were a thing. Like, and I still to this day think Bigfoot is bullshit. You know, there was probably like a bigger like ape man thing in the past, but I've never really believed in that kind of thing. You know?
Yeah. Bigfoot's an interesting one. I don't really know if I believe in any cryptids, but like you know, there's a couple that are true. Like the Australians had the drop bear. You know, that was like a kind of a cryptid to them, but it's just a koala. Because koalas they'll sit in trees, and they call them drop bears because you'll walk under the tree and they'll drop on you and give you fucking hepatitis.
Hi everybody, welcome to You Be Trippin'. My name is Ari Shaffir. I'm the host of the podcast. It's a travel podcast. Different guests to a different place every time. This is the only podcast that was convicted of starting off the chlamydia epidemic in koalas in Australia. We are appealing that as we speak.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know if it's hepatitis or what it is, but I know that like koalas give people some STD.
Oh yeah, chlamydia as well. I hear that they have ridiculous fucking frequency of that.
Syphilis or something.
If my sources on fucking koala genitals are correct.
That's what I'm saying. The dirty ass koala is getting freaky.
Yeah. I'm glad this whole thing could stay very on topic of just stories from my life, and you know, just yeah. Thanks for hanging, bullshit referee, and more later, I suppose.